Hey folks, what I'm going to do here is demonstrate how quickly we can basically recreate what we did as we followed the training program originally, or training video. So just starting here with this was the original old workflow. So what I'm going to do is go over here to personal, and I am going to start a completely new one. You can see here now there is a new option here. It says build with AI. So it looks like I am in the early stages of the rollout of that new functionality. So I'm going to click on that, and then you see here, and then you get off the chat box here that asks you what you want to do. So as usual, I've got my prompt copied and pasted over here. So what I'm going to do is basically the same thing. So this is eventually what I switched it over to, was pulling data from my spreadsheet of employee data, right? So I'm going to say I have employee data in a Google Sheet. I would like to create a workflow where I can enter a question in a Google Chat to query data from a Google Sheets document. The workflow should return an answer to me in Google Chat. Now what you'll see is it doesn't get all of that 100% right, but it does a pretty good job here. So I give it a little bit of time to think. If you want, you can skip ahead in the video a little bit here, but it's going to start to tell us what exactly it's doing over here, and you can see that it's working. And then more and more is going to pop up as it goes along. And you can see here now it is basically done. So it's telling you that you need to do a couple of additional things here. So we do need to tell it where the Google Sheet is and give it some information on that. I'm going to move a couple of these things out of the way here. We're going to double click in there. What I'm going to do, since I already have it pulled up, is I'm going to say, hey, we want to go by URL. So I'm going to go over here. This is the sheet that I want. So I'm going to use this URL twice because I want this exact sheet. So what we're going to do is go back here by URL, copy and paste that in there. Sheet. We are going to paste that in there. And then we are going to be good to go. So we're going to come back for this Google Chat tool here in just a second. But what we're going to do for now is actually just go ahead in the chat. And execute. You can see everything going here. And you can see that it returned to me already. So basically what we did in about an hour in that video, we've got set up to at least initially work the way that we want it to. You can see here it doesn't look exactly the same. Part of that is just because the variance and what happens when you run LLMs. We're going to save this one. Just go back to the other one really quickly just so that you can see that. You can see here in the way that we're going through it, obviously we're being led by an expert. He asked us to create an MCP client. So you don't have to stop just there. We are going to go back here. Let's open up our AI window again one more time. And I'm going to ask it. So can we set up the Google Sheets query through an MCP? So it's going to think about that. All right, and you can see here that it is now gone back through and set it up as an MCP version, and that MCP is pulling over the workflow. So won't go through all that right now. There's a couple of additional minor steps that I need to take in order for this to work 100% correctly. But as you can see here, we are extremely close to what we had set up before, with a lot less effort here. So this is a huge change and should make things even easier when you're looking to automate